We've got 5 tabs to go through of ancient prayer designs, and I'm going to try to make it as big as possible so you can see what's happening. And these are designs for the new book, like suggestions, concepts from Reddit that have been suggested for me to look at. Hopefully it's pretty readable for you guys. I don't know what to expect here, and the chat box is probably going to look really bad on the black background. I don't know if you can go dark mode or anything, but at the end of the day, my suggestion is to just get over it. I feel like Jagex should kind of chill out in the new content for a little while. For me, it just seems like we're having a lot of game-changing stuff thrown at us. Well, you say that, but all of last year and the year before, all anyone ever did was complain about Jagex not putting any content into the game. So, you get what you're given at the end of the day. The community does nothing but complain, and then they get what they complain about, and now they complain again. It's the same thing happened with the HD. No one wanted HD. So Jagex didn't do anything about HD, because no one wanted HD. Come 7 years later, there's a HD plugin, and everyone goes, why isn't Jagex doing HD? Why haven't you started HD? Jagex is so slow, they're behind on it. You spent the past 7 years saying no HD. Now you're going to be mad at them because all of a sudden you want it the next day? No one understands how game development works. So, like, it's really... The community complains and then gets what they ask for and then complain about getting it too much. It's just... I have no problems with content being pushed into the game constantly, provided it's good content. And we're happy with it. And it's polled. And it's... the feedback, they listen to it. Please change Baba Puzzle Room. It could be 2 minutes faster if you just get rid of it. Alright, so... this is Ancient Prayer Book suggestion number 1, Ruinous Powers. And for those watching this video, I did also go through the poll for the Desert Treasure 2 stuff, which I recommend you go back and check out on my channel. This is obviously for the YouTube video guys after the stream, so feel free to say hi to YouTube. Vote no to Vertus roads because I think that it's wasted potential if you bring it into Desert Treasure 2. We can have bigger and better roads if we wait for bigger content. I hope my voice isn't too cooked for these videos, hey? Lots of content adds longevity, I'm all for it, exactly, yeah. Alright, so, Ancient Prayer Book, a high risk, high reward alternative prayer book. Here we go. This is by Word765. I don't care who that is. Okay, so Zaros demands sacrifice. Zaros demands sacrifices from both his followers and his enemies to re-empower himself. I don't care about the lore, just tell me what it does. The Ancient Prayer Book will give us players increased strength. Okay, this is the actual prayer book. Players will have to pay the price by taking increased damage and maintaining lower health and prayer to reap the benefits. Okay. Goals. Okay, alright, cool. So that's the lore of the prayer book. Alright. Create a prayer book that is not objectively better or worse in all situations. That's kind of the goal, yes. Should be risky, but not so risky that only weaks can utilize it. Gotta mention weaks if it's on Reddit. Have a coherent theme around sacrifice. Okay. Don't break PvP. Well, PvP is broken regardless of prayer book because they're able to filter their prayer books and auto prayer switch with different clients, so you're fucked there regardless. The games don't do these days, you're wrong. Allows many account builds to be able to utilize it. Depends, can Pures do Desert Treasure 2? They are gay after all. Fuck Pures. Alright. It doesn't have to be a full prayer book. Good call. Pros and cons of each spellbook. Alright, oh sorry. Spellbook? Spellbook. Okay. Pros and cons of each spellbook. Alright. Medium damage, high endurance, low risk, prayer flicking. Zaros, high damage, low endurance, meaning it drains faster. High risk, no prayer flicking. Okay. No more sweaty nerds with new prayer, they're gonna be pissed. It depends how they work, I'm sure you can balance them in to get speedruns done. Alright. Defend from melee magic missiles. Prayer level, yet reduces damage from selected style by 90%. Overhead. Okay. And that's it? I guess it doesn't actually need to be more than that because you're on the prayer book, right? So instead of protect, it's defend. Okay. Unholy Strength. Alright. Increases attack, defense, and strength. 83 prayer. Increased effectiveness depending on missing HP. Maximum effectiveness is reached at 70% HP. Scaling is increased at each missing health point. The 70% HP, you get 30% increased attack. What the fuck is piety? 25? Oh, it's the other way around. Okay, 30 strength. Oh no, it's the same way around. 30 strength and attack, and then 25 defense. Okay, 70%. So you're not full health, and you get more damage. I mean, that's okay in like 90% of PVM content, right? There aren't really many places where being at 70% health is leaving you at risk at the moment, but that's not too bad still. Okay, Bloody Rain. Same thing with ranged, I'd imagine, just like Rigor with the hard R. In fact, this one's even harder. Okay, very good. And then Dark Sorcery. Oh, I don't know. Okay, yeah, sorry. I read that as magic damage 25%. I was like, fuck me. 0, 1%, 3% is not bad. A magic damage prayer like that is not bad. 3% is a good number. How much arrow strength does that shirt give? Nanya. Okay, Blood Tithe. While active, so reduces enemy defense on hit. So, you know what this means, guys. The person who made this does a lot of solo challenge mode Chambers of Xeric. And he had that in mind. He goes, this would be really good, the Chambers of Xeric, because I can't hit Tecton with my Warhammer in full Inquisitors. Let's get a prayer that does it for me. I don't like that idea. I think that's a bullshit idea. While active, you take increased 20% damage, and while active, you have reduced 20% defense. That sort of stuff I don't mind though. And it's an overhead. Reduce enemy defense on hit. Was that going to stack? Is it only one hit and then that's it? Or is it every time you hit him, his defense gets lower and lower? Panic Cell Dragon Warhammer. They should just add an upgrade to the Dragon Warhammer. Like just something that makes it better. Doesn't have to be ridiculously better, but even upgrade the spec. Bloody Redemption. Bloody Redemption. Only active when less than 10% hit points. 25% damage dealt gained as health. And then what after 10? What? So if you're on 9 health, then you deal 20 damage, and you get 5 health back, and then you're back to 14 HP, and you're still gonna get 1 hit. I don't know, maybe. I mean, you could use that in the Gauntlet pretty well actually, but otherwise, well, you can't because it's an overhead. That seems kind of redundant. Seems like a really bad redemption. 1 to 2 defense drain on hit. So every time you hit something, it loses 1 defense point. Yeah, I guess so, but that would make it really useless. Like 1 to 2 defense drain on hit, and if you miss with the Dragon Warhammer spec, it's 5 or 10. It loses 10 defense. I mean, yeah, it's just like it's 1 to 2 defense drain on hit isn't a whole lot. Future PvP and future PVM, I don't know yet. To make Darking OP. No, it won't. I don't know. I think that's more of a copium prayer. I don't think it feels necessary. I feel like there's better ways to worry about draining defense than overhead prayer. That's not really a good selling point for me personally. When active, attacking another player will cause damage done to be drained from their prayer. Increased effectiveness depending on attacking players missing. See, what's happening in this spellbook that I'm seeing a real big pattern of is that it's literally the normal spellbook, sorry, the normal prayer book, for the most part, and they're just changing, they're just tweaking the prayers a bit. But if you change the spell books, you have like whole new spells. They're not just like fire wave tweaked. Yeah, there's teleports that are tweaked, but I feel like a lot of it is just grab the old prayers, make them a little different. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I just don't think it's a very creative thing. Obviously, the lower your prayer, the more prayer they have drained. Very tactical. Fragilation. Increases damage taken by 15%. Halves HP regen. Increased vengeance / recoil damage by 50% in PvE, 20% in PvP. That'd be pretty big for Vassar. I mean, that's just gonna get a lot of people fucking killed in PvP, to be honest. Like, you're gonna try to avenge someone, right? And they're gonna hit you for 15% more damage and just fucking straight up beat your ass into the ground. And you've got to have it on the whole time. You're just gonna, I don't know, maybe would mean an even higher venge, right? But what do you normally venge these days, other than Bassa, the Tecton, Cox content again? I mean, venge is used like lucratively, sorry, throughout like speedrunning, TOB, and things like that. You don't really venge many bosses. It'll kill people at PVM a lot, yeah. And I think it'll also get people killed at PvP, because 15% damage taken increase. Someone hits you with a Dark Bomb, it doesn't matter what you're venging back, you're going to fucking Lumberage. 100%. This is just a prayer book concept from someone on Reddit. Could be for speedrunning Jad. That's true. Why would it affect the Lunas Power? Well, it affects like recoil damage, including rings and suffering as well, right? Which can be kind of big. Sacrifice. Okay, lose 1 HP each tick, gain 1 prayer each tick. Fuck me. Each game tick? It's gotta be in... Fucking hell. I don't even know where to start with that. That's... Yeah. Level 70 Prayer. No defense requirement. Okay. Combines Unholy Strength, Bloody Range, and Dark Sorcery. Overlapping bonuses do not stack. 20% less effective. Nah, fuck that, dude. Don't give me that Tribrid Prayer. Nah. Defend item. If a player is skulled, it will allow the player to keep 1 item upon death. In most other situations, it will allow 4. Same as protect item. Cost 9 prayer points a minute, 3 times the cost of protect item. Yeah, because I could see a lot of people wanting to PK with this fucking prayer, I know. Okay. 87 prayer, 50% chance to avoid an enemy attack draining your stats. Whereabouts does that normally happen? So just stack hard food? Yeah, pretty much, yeah, stack hard food to get your prayer back. I'm not sure where having enemies drain your stats is really a problem. Unless you're like running through the Slayer tower in Mauritania without your Slayer helmet on, maybe, but you're kind of dead when you're in there. Instead of 1 skulled, it's now +4. No, 4 unskulled, 1 when skulled. Like the normal prayer. This is just sort of someone made up, by the way. This is what JX is proposing. 25% chance when gathering a resource to destroy it. When a resource is destroyed, gain 1 prayer point. Not a bad shout. I like that prayer. It's good. Increased run recharge rate. Yeah, but I mean, you got stamina pots. Are they really that inconvenient? Could be handy in some places where Missouri is so heavy now. All numbers are not fun, of course not. PvP and PvE can and should have different values if necessary. Thanks to Silent Mission, No Monkey, and Mod Arcane for inspiration. Thank you for reading. Well, anytime. I personally think a lot of these are kind of half-assed and lack creativity, like these. I don't think they're necessarily bad ideas. I just think that it's very like copy-paste, whatever. This is kind of dumb. This is a copium prayer more than anything. I can see it working. I think there's better ways to go about your Warhammer hitting Tecton to be able to make CMs more viable than having a prayer, because then you got to sit on this fucking prayer book the whole time. And if the prayer book doesn't work, it's not going to be worth using. So you need to make the prayer book work for this to be worth using in Cox, because that's what this is at the end of the day. This is just a Chambers of Xeric, Turns of a Mascot, prayer. That's all this is. This is kind of like backwards. This makes no fucking sense, because like if you're at 10% health and you deal 40 damage, you're going to get 10 health back. You're going to be up to 19 health, right? Redemption will just give you 29 health on the spot. So, this is kind of shit. This... It's just like the other ones, just a copy-paste Smite. This is going to get people fucking killed, but I think it would be hilarious and good content. Kill specs would love this. This is fucking insane. Basically a way to save prayer pots, so panic sell prayer pots now, boys. This is dumb. Fuck that. I mean, if you're gonna go PKing with this, cost 3 times the prayer points. Yeah, if it's gonna be a good spellbook for PKing, then sure. But if it's not dedicated to PKing, it's kind of a waste. But you'd still have protect item anyway. 50% chance to avoid an enemy attack, draining your stats. I don't even know where the fuck this would be used half the time. Ablation. This is cool. I like this. Skilling prayer like that. Perfect. This is... if this works, it works. I don't know if it does. Because I feel like stamina and graceful is fine how it is. Yeah, okay, cool. Book 1 down. We've got 2 more books to go. But they're not as big as that one. It's all good, guys. So, Ruinous Prayers. Goals. Theme new prayers to Zaros. Fulfill a niche not offered by default. Provide some use for skillers. And I already don't like the looks of this fucking prayer book because of this shit right here. But, we're going with an open mind. See what we get. Okay, get my anglerfish cooking. Book 1, by the way, I rate it 6 out of 10. Alright. Purge Sickness. Alright, here we go. Take double the next hit of poison / disease, then the effect is removed. I had considered adding venom removal, but not sure if that's too situational. Just make it go down to poison. Will only be activatable if under the removal effect. Cost 3 prayer points to activate. Removes the annoyance of being tagged by something, either effect or enduring it or going to get it cleansed. Intended to be used in place of a holy symbol or prayer book effect, as it has a sour item given boon. The fuck does that mean? Well, you can put it on and then you've got a sour item? Is that what it means? So you can just activate this prayer and you're finding Gobble's dungeon? Sickness is ripped from the body, damaging the user. Initially used by Zarosian troops to avoid... Okay, so you'll take damage. Interesting. That's not too bad of an idea. I just think this is a silly excuse. Because most people just anti-venom plus and then you got 15 minutes of poison protection in most situations. So it could be seen as a pretty underwhelming, not so useful prayer. But I think it is a cool idea still. More of a low, mid-game, low-level prayer. Maybe endgame if there's a use where you're not going to be having it, but... when out of run energy, prayer is drained at the rate of run energy would be... Can be left on passively without draining prayer unless its condition is met. Useful as a last-ditch burst of run or moving around town with an altar. Zaros forces could travel across the realm with great speed under this prayer. When active, prayer drains to allow continued sprinting when out of run energy. I've got a better idea for you all. I think run energy should not drain. Unless you're in certain circumstances. Combat, wilderness, raiding, specific minigames like Blast Furnace, on top of rooftops, inside the Hallowed Sepulchre. Places where people use stamina potions, primarily, to maintain the stamina potion relevancy and the price. And so you're running around, it's fine. You're at level 3, you have unlimited run energy, you can run to Varrock and Lumbridge all day. You run over the Draenor. Run energy is 100%. Okay? As soon as the guard from Draenor prison attacks you, your run energy starts draining until you're out of combat. It doesn't start regenerating until you're standing still. But I think run energy is a flawed and an out-of-date concept for this game. I think it should not drain unless you are in combat or within certain instances. If you enter the wilderness, it drains regardless. So you always have it in the wilderness, so there's no PvP changes there. I think that's the best way to deal with run energy at the moment because It makes no sense that you should have to fucking walk halfway from Lumbridge to Varrock. Just change the stamina. But yeah, just call it stamina, I guess, if you wanted. Yeah, I think they should just reword that concept. I mean, at the end of the day, it wouldn't make a big difference because I teleport everywhere anyway. I think for early game and lower level people without staminas, I think it's totally fine to just it'll help increase engagement and encouragement for early game content, especially early game Iron Man. For sure. I don't think there's really many negatives for it. Should add sprint to go 2 times faster and 2 times train. No, terrible idea. Alright, there should never be a movement speed increase in this game. Forceful Harvest. Guarantees next harvest attempt on the resource will yield. Allows for use of prayer to make skilling more enjoyable by giving the option to manage prayer for better XP per hour. Compare your prayer to more quickly stock up on supplies to do what you want to do. While active, drains 2 prayer points per effect trigger with the initial 2-point activation cost. The expansion of an empire requires efficiency. Yeah, so, you heard it here first, guys. Forceful Harvest. You know how you make about, 1.3 mil an hour at Rune Ore? It's just increased to 10 mil an hour. Because you're getting your Rune Ore straight away for 2 fucking prayer points. Thank you. Shout out to the botting community. Alright, Believer's Tithe and Ritual Offering. Alright, 2 tiers of damage for efficiency in returns while also allowing those with lower HP to use a variant. I don't know what any of that fucking means. Allows re-upping of prayer for supply if supplies run low but food is available. Can be used in safer situations to extend prayer, but at risk if increased vulnerability. Inflict 3 damage to self in return for 1 prayer point. Oh, okay, so you just turn it on. Oh, okay. Inflict 20 damage to self for 12 prayer point. Okay, so you just like click it and you'll lose health and gain prayer. You know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piss and I'm going to think about what I think about that prayer. You guys do the same. Because I don't know if I like that or if I hate it. Click the prayer, take 20 damage, 12 prayer points. Could come in clutch. Could be broken. Could be shit. Alright. My throat is fucking killing me from this fucking problem, hey. Alright. Seems like a clutch prayer, other than that, meh. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about it, hey. I think it can work. Obviously, these numbers can be rebalanced for whatever reason, but yeah. But yeah. Cool idea. Stilled Heart. 10 prayer point initial activation cost. Drains a prayer point every time the increased healing effect activates. Okay. Increased healing. Okay. While activated, the natural health regeneration is stopped, allowing it to be used in situations where it is detrimental. I don't care about Zerosian Mad Guy. What holds health regen and increases the healing of blood spells by 10%. Oh, kind of shit. That's only really useful in like maybe Nilo room. In the Inferno. But 10% isn't a whole lot. Because a lot of the time it's like you're going from like 10% a lot of the time is fucking 1 or 2 hit points. It's not very often you heal yourself by fucking 20. Even then it's only plus 2%, right? It's yeah, increases the healing. So yeah, no, it's not happening. No, it's not that 10% of the healing. 10% of the damage is bigger than 10% of the healing. Probably about the same, to be honest, actually. What's up, Aesthetics? How you doing? Inciting Aura makes all normally docile enemies aggressive towards you when active. Oh, like an aggro. Okay. Pulses every 15 seconds, draining 1 prayer point each time. Useful for drawing aggression of the mobs below player combat level. They would want to farm as more AFK methods. That's better than using the cannon. That's Iron Man's wet dream right there. I'd use that. I like that. Resistance to X and Y. Without reading this, I'm going to say no. 80% damage reduction to 2 selected damage types. Directly stronger than the Pure Protection Prayer. It's not. Yeah, however, it allows for reduction of chip from dual attack type enemies or in multi-combat zones, various expected damage types. Inspired by Cafe Queen and her defensive overheads. It's worth noting that Cafe Queen's overheads do nothing. I'm not a fan of this idea at all. No, I don't like it. And there's not many situations where you'd use it. Costs 50 prayer points and health. Sorry, 5 prayer points and health to activate for a buff which lasts 5 seconds. Cannot be activated more than once every 5 seconds. Intended to allow enemy mechanics to not punish for having correct protection prayer from standard. Timeless immunity to the next attack against you. I mean, that doesn't seem worth it. The aggro prayer is a really good idea, yeah. This doesn't really seem worth it. I mean, you'd use it somewhere like maybe the Kraken. But for the most part, this wouldn't be worth it because you could just pray flick. And then you save yourself more than 5 prayer points. So to balance this, well, you can't really because you make it 1 prayer point to activate. You can activate every 5 seconds, but then it's too strong. Because you just go to the Inferno and you just flick this every 5 seconds, you don't have to worry about shit. Like if two attacks hit you at the same time, do they both get cancelled? Yeah, I'm not sure. This prayer book, I kind of... To be honest, I like it more than the other one, even though it's smaller. I'll give this one a 6 out of 10 as well. This prayer book, to be honest. Because this small, there's less content, there's less to criticize it about. I think this Forceful Harvest is good. Provided it's not this broken. Wait, what am I thinking? I was thinking of the other skill in prayer. No, this is fucking horseshit. This could be good. I think this is a really good idea. The aggro prayer. I think this is a cool idea, but I think it's kind of dead late game. I can't imagine a situation where anyone would use this. They make a statement about 1 ticking and how they basically... No, they didn't make a statement. They suggested that they want the new book to maybe not involve prayer flicking or 1 tick flicking. That's not a guarantee, but it's like what they're aiming for. Alright. Handful of concepts of Ruinous Prayer books. We've only got 5 pages here, boys. Good. Alright. Ruinous Powers. Affliction. Non-health damage. You deal increased by 50%. Non-health damage. Deal increased with non-health damage. Non-health damage. So like the Nightmare. And... that's it. Okay. Example, stat reductions. Poison. Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry. So, okay. My bad. I understand now. Example, stat reduction, poison, run energy. That's what he means by non-health damage. Alright. So, I'm ready for some more Chambers of Xeric challenge mode copium. As a combat prayer, this would overwrite other combat prayers. Praying piety, disable chivalry. Yes. Meaning you wouldn't be able to stack accuracy or damage buffs with this. Alright. If that Dragon Warhammer special attack hits, there won't be much defense left at all, but the odds of it whiffing are higher than ever. So why don't we just buff the Dragon Warhammer? Instead of creating a whole fucking prayer book around not being able to hit your hammer on fucking Tecton. That's all it is at the end of the day. What could be worth including? Useful combat in way that's just not boosting damage. Not ubiquitous optimal, but has clear applications. For example, Corp. Not really, you don't even need the fucking the Dragon Warhammer for Corp. You can skip the phase by hitting an arc light, it just helps, you know. Opens up risk reward for reliable specs versus boosted specs. Not really, there's no risk in either of them, to be honest. It's just reward or reward. Potential for uses for Grandmaster speedruns. I doubt it. The reason this won't be used for Grandmaster speedrunning is because it's all about potential damage, not average damage or average opportunity. So if they have a high potential to land 2 Dragon Warhammers and both Warhammers do 66 damage or 70 damage, or have a Warhammer less accurate and only have a max hit of 50 something, but the stat drain is twice as big on Tecton, they're going to opt for the higher hit and just pray until they get 2 hammers hit. Rather than having a lower a lower damage and lower accurate weapon. It just won't work. Like speedrunning isn't based around whether your Dragon Warhammer hits or not. That's not the main concept. But let's see what else is in the book before we completely write it off. So far, it's a copium prayer. Just like every other one that's got to do with increasing stat reduction. Ruinous Powers. Penitence. When you lose hit points, regain prayer points equal to 1/3 of the hit point lost. Rounded down. Cool idea. I genuinely like that. I read prayer. Using it does not drain prayer over time. Ooh. That's a prayer that doesn't drain your prayer. But you need to have at least one prayer point to activate it. And it's an overhead. You wish to show your devotion. You wish to have something behind the arrow. Your powers restored to you. Bleed for them. Why this could be worth. Thematic synergizes with blood spells and emphasizes Zaros as a dangerous, cruel god. Matches the altar in Darkmare that damages you and it ruins your and the ruins of Anarchy on the Wilderness that restore prayer without an altar. Okay. We have ways of restoring prayer without relying on potions or altars. Saradomin Godsword, Ancient Mace. Seems fitting that the prayer skill itself gain a form of self-sufficiency. A lot of these prayers will be good spells? Yeah, of course. I don't mind this one. I don't mind the idea that if you get hit for like 30, you get 10 prayer points. That's not bad in somewhere like Bubba, where chip damage is inevitable and he's hitting you for 18 through prayer, so you get 6 prayer points back. That would save a lot of fucking time. If you could one-tick flick, that'd be broken, wouldn't it? Well, you wouldn't need it if you could one-tick flick because you have full prayer. I think that's actually a good idea. This is probably the best idea, combat-wise, that I've seen so far. I like it. The 1/3 whatever can obviously be balanced depending on what, but you want magic damage? Of course you do, but you're fucking running around with a Swan Trident anyway, so your problem is your bank more than fucking prayers. Alright. Justice. Stop. Alright. Get an extra 30% attack and 50% strength when attacking a skulled target. Additionally, your hits freeze skulled targets for 4 seconds. A melee weapon and 2 ticks using a range of magic weapon. Become the vigilante. I don't care about the law. Why it would be worth including. Adds an extra level of decision making in PvP. Putting an extra tool in the pocket of the defender. Freeze effects thematically fit the Zarosian magic. Zaros has always been associated with the wilderness. A Zarosian prayer book that doesn't offer tools for the wilderness is missing out. I mean, what level prayer do you need? How much prayer does it drain per second? Does it cost prayer to activate? Is it an overhead? Am I going to be able to protect myself while using this prayer? Or am I better off having protect magic to reduce freeze timers by half? To be honest, I think it is something that a lot of people are doing lately, and especially with the new skill thing. Everyone's like, introduce a PvP skill. I think making content because it would help in PvP or help people defend in PvP is not the right way to go about it. And there's a lot of people who don't understand or do a lot of PvP that are doing it. I don't really understand a whole lot of PvP. I don't really want to fuck with it too much. But I don't think it makes sense to be fucking freezing targets with it for 4 ticks with a melee weapon. If you range someone and you freeze it for 2 ticks, you can gap them like that. I mean, yeah, it's great to get away, but fuck, I'd be pissed if it was being used on me for someone to get closer. Just be playing fucking chicken with people. Blasphemy. You gain a skull that lasts 5 minutes. Additionally, you deal 50% more damage, 50% extra defense, and gain the effect of Smite at 30% of your prayer. 30% damage to prayer. You cannot use other prayers while using this prayer. Or for 3 seconds, 5 ticks afterwards. So this won't work automatically. This is a bad idea. Okay? Because everyone goes, oh, Smite's a PK prayer. Smite's a PK prayer. In single way combat, a lot of the time, PKers won't just sit on Smite. If you start fighting back, they're not going to sit on Smite while you're smacking them with a bow for 40. They're going to go range prayer. If you can't have any other prayer active, and if your spellbook doesn't have protection prayers, Why the fuck would people choose to smite consistently over not smiting? So the person, whoever made this ran into a problem, right? And his problem was, every time he's in the wilderness, PKs just can't smite and kill him. It's because he's not fighting back. As soon as you start swinging back, they start turning the smite off because they need to watch out in case that Void Waker comes out and they wake up in fucking Lumbridge. So I don't think this is the right idea to go about it. And being able to skull up on a prayer book, if you misclick that, you're fucked. If I'm in the wilderness PVMing, ready to anti-PK, and I accidentally turn this shit on, now I'm skulled for 5 fucking minutes. Terrible idea. Desperation. You cannot restore prayer. You cannot take damage. Instead, all damage you would take is displayed above your character. When this prayer ends, you take all the damage you prevented at once. Drains prayer points extremely quickly. When you're already on borrowed time, a few seconds might be just enough to take your enemy with you. Looks like you're both headed to Lumbridge. I mean, what's stopping me from just... So I could just go to the wilderness. What this means... Bad idea, right? What this means is I can go to the wilderness now. And I can do whatever I want. And I just need to... This is what my inventory will look like. Okay? If I go to the wilderness, my inventory is going to look like this. And I have infinite health. I will run around. I will just spam fucking prayer potions. And you can attack between drinks. Because it's not food. It doesn't delay you. So you're just going to run around. This is your new food. Panic by prayer pots, boys. Some of these ideas haven't been thought through fully. They've only thought about positives. This is a common thing, especially with the new skill stuff as well. A lot of people making concepts for Jagex, while you might have a decent idea, you need to look at the negatives and you need to have a look at the impact on content you're trying to propose. Not just the pros and cons, and the cons are like, it might get no voted. Cons, it might not be used as much. Cons, it might not be balanced properly. Cons, it's a fucking shit idea. Like, that's true. It's like when you're trying to pitch a project to a company, and your cons are, well, you know, I might not get funding. That's not a con. A con is, you know, what if something falls through, or you end up not being able to achieve your fucking goal on time. Like, there's things more than just, oh, yeah, it might get no voted on the poll. This is a bad idea. This is a bad idea based on the fact that you can just drink fucking prayer pots so you get out of the wildy. This is a terrible fucking idea. This is, I would say, shit as well. This is great. I love this idea. This is a good idea. This is copium. Anything that's like that is really, anything that's like trying to increase accuracy or trying to lower defense. There's better ways to go about it than having a prayer book, which is also going to include absolutely nothing for the rest of the chambers of Xeric. I rate this book 5 out of 10. Only because they had one good idea. One very good idea. Ah, here we go. Oh, hold on, sorry. No, not that shit. Okay. Disregard. This is a prayer someone suggested. While active, all resources collected through skilling, fishing, ores, logs will be dropped on the ground instead of appearing in the player's inventory. This would increase AFK time for a lot of popular skilling methods without significantly increasing XP rates at the cost of having to maintain prayer points via potions nearby altars. I think that's a good idea. In terms of skilling prayers, that is the direction to be thinking. It's a mix of like a Leagues 3, Leagues 2 relic, but the items get dropped on the floor. So it basically is, it's slightly increasing XP per hour at barbarian fishing, iron ore mining, chopping fucking redwood logs, yew logs, teaks. This is good. I think it's a great idea, and it doesn't need to drain too fast. Because it's not going to be a ridiculous amount of increase. Because you're not going to do it if you're doing sharks. You're not going to do it if you're doing rune ore. You're not going to do it if you're doing magic logs. James, welcome to the membership. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Disregard is a S tier prayer. And then finally, we got a few concepts here. Ancient Focus, increase all damage and accuracy by 10%, but reduces attack speed by 1. That's kind of... So, damage and accuracy, which would include magic, I guess. This is just melee. 10% seems a little low, because... Thank you, James. I appreciate that, man. I think 10% is a little low, because you could just use Piety, and you've got more than that. Right? Just on stream. Where's this info from? It's just from Reddit. People have suggested it, so we're just looking through it for new prayers. So I think this 10% could be higher, especially if you're going to sacrifice your attack speed by 1. If you're using a scythe or a T-bow, you're going to a 6-tick weapon. You're going to want more than 10%, to be honest. 15, 20 maybe. Salvation. Same effect as Redemption, but also increases HP regeneration the lower HP you have. When Redemption effect activates, your next attack deals 10% more damage and has 100% accuracy. That's cool. Salvation's good. I like Salvation. That's good. Love when I do this? Oh, thank you. I appreciate the vengeance. Sorry you missed most of it, but I will be uploading it to the channel later so you can have a look. Salvation's a good idea. These are good ideas. These non-fucking clipboard ones. It's great. Absurd Blight. Reduces all damage dealt by 25%, but inflicts a bleed effect that deals damage over 12 seconds. Additional attacks during that time reset the 12-second timer. Sorry, so you deal 25% less damage, but you inflict a bleed effect that deals damage over 12 seconds. Kind of like there isn't really one at the moment, really. Hey. Additional attacks during that time reset the 12-second timer. If balanced correctly, depends how they measure that. That could be pretty cool. And is that melee only? There's potential there, but I'm not sold. Essence Siphon. Restore special attack energy based on 10% of damage dealt, but also costs 1 prayer point per special restored. So hitting a 20 will restore 2% special energy, also drain 2 prayer points, in addition to passive drain. I would fuck with that. I like Poison Siphon? Yeah, it'd just be fast poison. I would fuck with this Essence Siphon. Two special attack for 2 prayer points. I'd fuck with that. I would probably drop the Light Bearer or something like that if it existed. You realize how fucking good that would be in the Nightmare? Passive drain on the Essence Siphon, it would just be the damage you deal. You lose prayer based on damage you deal. I think that'd be really fucking good. I think that's cool. I like these ideas as well. I don't know who did these ideas though. I can't tell you unfortunately because I don't have the credit on them. They were just images that were sent to me. So I do apologize. But if whoever made this, if you do end up seeing this video, great fucking idea. 3 out of 4 are great. I'm questioning a Cursed Blade a little bit depending on how it's balanced. But overall, these are better ideas than the fucking other shit we saw, 100%. But that is all I've got in terms of prayers. I have got another video here from Krebus. We've watched one of his videos before called The Biggest Drama in Old School RuneScape. I would like to look at that tomorrow on stream, I think. If that's alright. This is the easiest room in the raid. It's quite simple. You got a big boy. Look at him, goddamn! Fuck me, look at that boy. It's huge! You got a big boy.